He's never fought us. Not us united.
I can so see that. That's it. Welcome to Comics League Justice League Rewatch. I'm your host, Jared. I'm here with Nick from the Phoenix Press. What's up, dude?
Have you ever had a dream, Jared, that you're so sure was real?
I know.
What if you're unable to wake from that dream? How do you tell the difference between the dream world and the real world?
Thank you, Mr. Anderson. So we're talking about the Justice League arc entitled Only a Dream with the debut of Dr. Destiny. And we get to find out how Batman takes his coffee. Because, geez.
Black.
Black. Does it come in black? Exactly. There you go. So this episode involves a villain known as Dr. Destiny. And he inherits the ability to... essentially, when you fall asleep, he can make you stay in your dreams until you die. And it'll stay in a nightmare scenario, almost like a nightmare timeline, #full circle. And eventually you die. So this episode is deals a lot with this villain called Dr. Destiny. Again, like I said before, he has the ability to essentially... what's the word? I have to get back into this mood.
Mr. Sandman. Bring me a dream.
Essentially, if you dream, he can make you. He can essentially make you be in a perpetual nightmare. #nightmare timeline. So, what's kind of cool about this is when you're watching, and by #full circle, when you're watching this whole episode, it's interesting seeing each of the Justice League's dreams. Like Superman, his nightmare is losing control of his powers. Hawkgirl is claustrophobic, and what's kind of cool. This is, again, this episode, if you're paying attention, actually teases something from Star-Crossed. The reason why Martian Manhunter couldn't go into to Shayera's head in order to revive her is because Thanagarians are trained to resist telepathy.
Ooh.
So for those of you that know what happens in Star-Crossed, this will make a whole lot of sense.
Foreshadowing!
#foreshadowing. So
#full circle.
Yes, exactly. So and it's kind of funny, by the way, this episode features every member of the Justice League except for Wonder Woman, although she shows up in that one dream sequence.
This episode is not so wonderful.
Not so wonderful, exactly. We love you, Susan Eisenberg. So the Flash's one, he runs so fast that everyone else just stops, just freezes. So he's all alone forever after being chased by demonic kids that want to bite him for some reason. But then I'm like, that tracks with this version of Wonder Woman.
They're literal ankle biters.
Yeah. John Stewart is being an outsider to his own neighborhood, to his own home, and not being like an Earthling anymore. Mm-hmm. And we never find out what Batman's nightmare is because he never goes to sleep.
I love that, like, that moment where he walks in the coffee shop and everyone's just like, what is he doing here? Like,
even the attendant, the barista is like, what? The Batman's here? And he's like, give me a triple.
Think about it, in the DC world, you're in a coffee shop, all of a sudden, the Batman just walks in.
It would have been better if he showed up in the drive-thru. In the Batmobile.
He gets drive-through.
I guarantee you, by the way, because remember in last week's episode where he and Superman are having coffee in the Batmobile, how much would I bet they got that drive-through? Can you imagine? You're the attendant of that window. All of a sudden, the Batmobile comes up, the hatch opens, and there's Batman and Superman right there.
Batman and Superman.
And Superman, yeah, not just Batman, the Kryptonian god himself.
Can I have an autograph, please?
Yes, please.
And like Superman, of course, he just does it without a second. And like Batman, he pauses, and then Superman gives him a look, and Batman sighs like, fine.
Everyone say Super Wonder. There you go. I have to do that because it's my channel. So anyway, going back to the episode, but that was awesome. That's my favorite part of the episode when Batman just gets coffee. It's so good because he keeps falling asleep because he hasn't slept in 3 days, which I'm like, well, that's just dangerous. But it's Batman, so.
But he's Batman. He's the GD Batman.
Now, for those of you that were paying attention, there is a distinct Matrix reference in
Wait,
this.
what?
There's a Matrix reference.
Okay, explain it to me because I need
All
to.
right.
I'm about to be
So-
made to look like a fool. So
Remember when the Flash finds out he's in a dream? All of a sudden, you hear a phone ringing, and he goes, "That's my alarm clock right now. I'm gonna go wake up." And he pulls the phone off the. It tries to pull the phone off the payphone. That is legit a Matrix reference, and I can't believe you didn't see it,
He's
Mr.
right.
Matrix.
He's right.
Mr.
Oh
Matrix
my
fan
God.
didn't see it. It is a reference. It is literally intended as a Matrix as
You're
a reference to
right.
the Matrix.
You're right.
I can't believe you didn't say. I can't believe you of all people didn't see that.
I guess you could say I did not see that coming.
You chose poorly. So
I did. I really did.
and I also love to keep the guy from getting into Batman's dreams. Just Batman just on a repeat just keeps humming Frere Jacques. Which, by the way, is a reference to another thing in the comics. In the storyline, The Sword of Azrael, Batman uses that technique to resist a truth serum. He just repeats a children's rhyme. But this is even funnier, where even Dr. Destiny is like, "What the hell is that music? Stop it!" But what's interesting, when you think about it, we never saw Martian Manhunter's nightmare because he probably doesn't have to sleep, though, because he's a Martian.
Well, you saw him sleeping. He saw him sleeping right at the beginning. Remember in the beginning, like it's like he was still and like, oh, sorry, I was sleeping, dozing.
Oh, okay. I was like, I thought that was just him joking.
I mean, given the episode, I think it was kind of like he basically was freshly rested before this whole thing started.
And I love Barry. I almost said Barry. Wally is screwing with him, and Hawkgirl's like, "Stop it! Let the guy rest." I love that. That's so good.
Yeah.
So what do you think of Shiera's fear being claustrophobia? And they established this twice in the episode.
Well, she's a bird, and birds don't like to be caged.
Fun fact: do you know who voices Volcana?
Who?
Have you watched Frasier?
Bits and pieces.
That's Roz. I'll get the actual voice actress's name. I keep forgetting her name.
I think I know who you're talking
about. Perry Gilpin.
Frasier was a little bit before my time.
Mm-hmm. And by the way, we also get one of the rare occasions of Lois Lane. What's interesting, she's not with Superman in this show. And as soon as I was watching this, I'm like, I like the show all the more.
I think they brought back Dana Delaney to do.
Yeah, they did. They did, which is awesome because she does a great. She does a fantastic Lois Lane.
She's a good actress.
She's good at playing unlikable characters. I had to. I said that on a Nerdette stream and they went crazy. It was so much fun. I want
to do the other one, but I don't want to get you.
I made them all laugh because I said because we were talking about Spider-Verse 2, and I said, and they said, oh, maybe they'll reveal like they started hinting at like who the main bad guy is for like the third movie, and I go, oh yeah, they did. It's Zeb Wells, and he made everyone laugh at that one. And Marvel Editorial is the true villain of Spider-Man.
Dan Slott is the true villain of Spider-Man.
Nope. If you looked at the current run, it's Zeb Wells, followed closely by Dan Slott. But following on with this, in this episode, it's also interesting to see, like, again, I like how they nightmares for each of the League members because it makes sense for each person, right? By the way, this also has appearances by Cheetah, Deadshot, Grodd, Shade, Star Sapphire, Stag, Ultra Humanite, and all these characters are in like the beginning dream sequence when like the Legion of Doom shows up and goes to Dr. D. You're the best. You've done what we could never do. While he's daydreaming. Here's another fun fact for you. According to Bruce Timm, several writers complained that Dr. Destiny's costume looked too much like the He-Man villain Skeletor. Although the
I
outfit,
could see that.
although the outfit predated He-Man by several decades, he tried to counter this by changing the costume's color, but the gray cloak made him look too much like Phantasm, and a green cloak too much like Doctor Doom. And it was decided too many villains had purple as the main color already, so the blue cloak
There
remained.
are too many cloaked villains with skull-shaped faces. And I say that knowing that I literally created a Deathstroke knockoff called Grim, where he has a hood and he has like a skull-shaped face on it. So I'm no better.
Has he failed this city?
Not
Oh, by
yet.
the way, upon seeing Jimmy, Superman refers to him as my pal, and that's a reference to the comic Jimmy Olsen, Superman's pal, or Superman's
Yep,
pal, Jimmy Olsen.
I caught that one right away.
And you didn't even catch the Matrix one. I'm gonna hang that on your head for so long.
See, I'm trying not to
Wait,
give you the finger.
to be
but
clear,
it's really hard.
Nick is the reason why we covered all the Matrix movies in March. Just want to let you know that.
I like it is getting really hard to resist giving you the finger, brother.
This is gonna be so much fun.
You're probably gonna have to edit this episode. I'm just giving a heads up.
Oh, there's a few things I'm gonna edit out, but
Oh well, in that case.
yeah, yeah, but it's been like a bleak blast or whatever.
I like how you looked, and it's like I'm not even giving you the finger.
Yeah, I know. I was just looking, but
Made you look.
Mm-hmm. In the stream, why does this the wiki page keep on me? Okay, here we go. In the stream, D refers to the ESP machine as the as the Materiopticon. They have really weird names here. In mainstream DC Comics, that machine is the mystical stone that grants Dr. Destiny his powers in the world of dreams. Okay, so that's so instead of doing a magical stone, it's a machine. Which makes a lot more sense
now than mine.
Yes, thank you. So I think, and I love how this episode ends with Batman just asleep in a chair.
Perfect.
No doubt dreaming about how Nick missed the Matrix reference. Yeah, thank you. So on that note, we're going to call it. So Nick, how would you rate this arc out of 10?
9.5.
Really? That's real. There's only one other episode I think that you've ever done that with, and that was the one with the Martian Manhunter arc. So, why would you rate this 9.5 out of 10?
I really like. I think they really went the extra mile with like the stories. I think Dr. Destiny was a great villain. They literally made a villain out of an everyman. Well, he's a prisoner, but still, he's an average person compared to these people. It has some really great moments. I love the Batman one. It's certainly an above average sequence.
I also love where he goes to Batman. He goes, "I don't want to hurt you because you don't have powers." So his vendetta is against people that have superpowers, which they could have done a better job of establishing why he doesn't like specifically the powered Justice Leaguers. Instead of like, they think they're all high and mighty. I'm like, okay.
Didn't his backstory is like he tried to rob from Lex Luthor or something?
No, I think he worked for Lex Luthor. He worked security for Lex Luthor or something like that.
And he tried to rob it or something like I it's just like an offhand reference. Really.
I think it was like he worked for Lex Luthor and Superman arrested him or something like that, or like Superman led to his arrest. That's a way to explain it. It was just a bit unclear. Because I get Superman, but why every other metahuman?
Yeah,
that's my one ding on that. That's why I give it a 9. That's my one ding. It's not too much for me to bring it down to an 8, but it is something that I need more clarification on.
All right.
So on that note, everyone, be sure to stick with us as we cover our next arc. I'm going to pull up Max real quick so we can check out what the next arc is. And so, Nick, do you have any predictions on where this season is going, particularly the Hawkgirl stuff?
I mean, everything's all standalone, so it's really hard to say.
Mm-hmm. So the next arc will be Maid of Honor, where we encounter Vandal Savage again. So, and this is a very Wonder Woman centered arc. So we're gonna obviously we'll see Diana here.
All right, cue the cellos.
Yeah. Then we are approaching the Justice Lord arc, which establishes that only evil Supermen are with Lois Lane. Just wanted to put that dig on there. We are rapidly approaching my favorite arc.
You better put when we do the Justice Lord arc, you better reference that.
Oh yes, I will. I take every opportunity to bash Lois Lane. So on that note, stay heroic, everyone, and I will see you in the next one.